He's like, you need to take these keys, get the fuck out of here. He was like, damn, you didn't have to punch me that hard, nigga.
Yeah, when they pulled back up at the best signal,
I told you to punch me, but not that hard. What are you holding back?
Look, see them hating ass niggas talking, tell them niggas stop it. Move back, baby, run down chasing. Off the perky, boy, I'm dangerous. I'm in a double R, shit look like a spaceship. Everything is up there. Should have posted my mess.
Happy New Year. Super that.
Welcome to the Redacted Show. I'm your host, Feeq, with my co-host,
Dane. What's happening, y'all? Welcome back.
Yes, sir. And on the Redacted Show, we talk anime, manga, sometimes, maybe. We don't know. We're getting there.
Yes.
Marvel, DC, movies, nerd culture, all that jazz.
Mm-hmm.
And we do give you some life tips, but take them with a grain of salt because they're not good.
Yes, sir. I mean, sometimes you may take some things from them, but you know what I'm saying? Like I said earlier in the first episode, too much salt will ruin the whole meal.
Mm-hmm.
So just take it as you may.
Yes, sir.
And then also, don't be afraid to DM us on like social medias for different topics you guys want to see on the at the Redacted Show on all platforms, on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok's loading up pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
And so that way, if you want those digestible bites of the episode, you can go to that and watch those. But
I like that, the digestible part bites. Damn, I can't speak. Shit. Oh my god. They can't speak for shit.
Cat got your tongue? Stupid ass.
Nah, and then go ahead if you're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you listen to us, rate us 5 stars. That helps us move up the algorithm, find more listeners. You know what's crazy? I'll just give this one stat. We're building a small community, which sounds crazy. We're building a small community of listeners.
We're building an army.
In freaking, where was it? Germany?
Yeah, it was somewhere in Germany.
Yeah, Europe. It's like
some European country. I think it's Germany or Russia.
Yeah. Well, we had one listener in Russia, and then the rest were in it's some in Germany, and it's like 2 in the UK. But I know after the first episode we had 1, and then after the second episode it went up to like 4, and now we're way higher. So shout out to y'all. I don't know who you are, but
yeah, shout out to them non-American listeners. You know what I'm saying, rocking with us, holding it down.
Yeah.
If you guys would want us to, do an episode in German, I'm sorry to tell you we can't do that.
Hey Siri, translate this. But yeah, before we get into the topic, let's talk about what's new. What's new with you? It don't gotta be nothing crazy. What's new?
You know what I'm saying? Stacking up my hat collection. I'm actually wearing a new one I got right now. The Hat Club exclusive.
Okay.
The Astros auxiliary pack. Scarface. A Scarface themed Astros 2004 patch.
That sounds like attachments for a video game.
It's a DLC.
DLC pack.
Nah, but this pack from Hat Club was pretty much like a restock of the original Ox Club, which was based off like previous like rappers or artists music albums. So the one I'm wearing is based off of one of Scarface's album covers, and it's very sought after. I remember, it's funny, I literally, when I got this hat, it was on a Monday on a whim, and I got a notification saying that these hats were going to be dropping pretty soon, and we'll like drop it in like the next 10 minutes. So thankfully I had enough time, and when they refreshed, I almost thought I missed it because it was taking forever, and then when I ordered it, it was like 1:01, and they dropped at 1 o'clock.
Dang.
And they all sold out, all sizes, everything. I was like, God damn.
That's like a sneaker drop.
Exactly. If not worse. And my thing is like, with hats, and if y'all wear fitteds or anything like that, like y'all would know that for some reason, Houston Astros hats are very sought after. It's not even like just, I don't even think it's just, there's just more people in Houston, because that's not necessarily the case. I just think that there's just some kind of hype around Astros has to where they're always sought after, no matter what.
It must be the open star.
I mean, I know people do like the broken star logo on the Astros. It is kind of hard, but I mean, outside of that, that's pretty much it. You know, earlier today, bought a couple suits.
Okay.
Spent almost half a rack on that shit.
Okay,
But
big money.
Shut up. But one of the suits was buy one get one free, so got a suit for free.
Okay.
With some other, attachments on that bitch.
Some more DLC for it.
Had to splurge the VC one time. But all in all, that's pretty much it.
Okay. Shit for me. Damn, nigga.
Shut up.
This man need his booster. For me, the only real thing I've been doing or that's new is went to a pop-up shop with my friends, Dante, you know Dante, but for the listeners, shout out to Dante. He runs a page, Fresh Prints.
Yes, Fresh Prints Vintage. You can go follow that on IG or also on Depop. If you guys know what Depop is, it's basically like an app for thrifting / vintage wear. So at Fresh Prints Vintage.
Yeah, prints as in printing, not prints.
Yeah.
But so he was at a pop-up shop, went over there, supported. I actually got this Rams sweater, I guess you could say, long sleeve, pretty clean. I really like it. So yeah, I got that. Besides that, I just been trying not to spend money on food, man, because it'd be some days after work I'd be like, I can go buy food right now, or I can cook. But the buying food be winning, so I be that money be going fast.
But I say like crazy, especially that should be adding up on your lunch break.
Oh man, lunch
get back.
bro, lunch breaks. I be, and you know they got the little delivery things at Redacted. So
yeah,
so
them Starbucks.
Yeah, I'd be like, some days I'd be like, I could really just get this little Wally bot to come send me food, but I be fighting the urge.
Yeah.
But besides that, really just shit, that's the main stuff. And then I also bought a suit today. You know, had to add to the collection. So that's the main things. And now let's get into the topic. So the topic today is, obviously everybody knows the Batman dropped. So we're gonna be talking about that today.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah. So like we said earlier, the Batman movie came out last week. Before we get into like the main spoilers, there will be spoilers.
Yes.
In this episode. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, rate us a 5 stars and come back later when you've watched it, so that way you can listen to our debate and not be spoiled. And but before we do that, we'll just give our initial thoughts on the movie. I personally enjoyed it. If I had to rank it, between like all the Batman movies, I would still say The Dark Knight is better in my opinion, but this movie is a very close second. I really enjoyed this movie. As y'all pretty much heard like my expectations in the last episode. I was excited for this movie. I knew I would enjoy it, and I did. There's a lot of things that we'll get into this episode that they did very well.
Yeah.
From like the score, the music, the acting.
Ooh, the music was
the
incredible.
Scenery, just the ambiance of the movie. And like, yeah, didn't have nobody with no BO next to me. So we were good. Like,
yeah, for me, my initial thoughts was yeah, I really like the movie. The one thing I will say is not a negative, because I don't mind sitting in movies for a long time. It definitely felt like a 3-hour movie.
Yeah, that movie was just a tad bit too long. They definitely could have cut some things out, but
yeah, I don't think it was, for me, I don't think it was too long. It just felt like that was the first movie in a long time. I was like, okay, this feels like 3 hours. Like, I'm not complaining, but I was like, okay. Once I got out, I was like, okay, I need to go to sleep.
Yeah, it was almost one of those things where, like, if you were at home and you got to like maybe the middle of the movie, or like it was a certain point in time in the movie, you'd grab your remote and check how much time is left. You're like, God damn, still this much time left?
That's a perfect example.
Like you be like, ugh,
bro.
And then especially if you saw it late.
Oh yeah,
I saw my showing time was at 7, and I was yawning damn near halfway in the movie. I'm like, God damn, I almost like I said, I wanted to grab my remote and just check how much time was left.
yeah. I watched mine at like 7:30. I got out like 11. Once I got out, I was like, bro, I just need to eat something and go straight to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nah, for me, yeah, it definitely was a good movie. If I had to rank it just like off the top of my head with just that first watch, I definitely would say it's probably right below The Dark Knight.
Mm-hmm. Now you could argue and probably win that argument that it's the best Batman movie ever made to date. Like I wouldn't. You could argue that, but
I'd have
that
to,
movie was that good.
I'd have to rewatch it if I would even think of that. But I would put it. Yeah, I'll put it below The Dark Knight.
Yeah, mine is like barely below The Dark Knight. Like it's 1A and 1B. Like
yeah,
it's that close.
I might have to do a full rewatch of like all of them. Like most of the Batman, I ain't gonna rewatch all of them. I ain't watching all them 1900.
You're not gonna watch Batman 89?
I'm not gonna rewatch all of them. I'll rewatch maybe like 2 of them, not every single one from the.
You
90s.
gotta rewatch Batman 89 and Batman Returns.
Yeah,
that's the second one.
Yeah, but that's the initial thoughts. The initial thoughts was just kind of just brief. We ain't trying to go in depth because once we talk in depth, it'll go here and there.
But then this, what were we about to say?
Oh no, I was about to say the same thing you was about to say.
Oh well, from this point on will be spoilers. So if you have not left yet,
get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, you haven't warned. So,
it's time to go.
Nah, so we'll just kind of move this movie chronological as we can. I mean, there may be some things we've missed, or like we're gonna start from the beginning and kind of popcorn around and see where we end up. But,
and then we'll come back to other stuff.
Yeah,
y'all know how we do.
I got to my movie like a little bit late. I think we missed like the first 10 minutes, but in that 10 minutes, from what I can remember, just like hearing the people and like seeing different things on the interwebs, it was just like the opening scenes of, I think it was the Riddler killing the mayor.
Yeah, that was the opening.
And then you saw the like clown faced goons. Well, I'm saying clown face. I don't think they were like, they may have been Joker goons, just for like the paint, just kind of messing up on some other dude. And then I walked in right around that time.
Okay,
when they were doing that, so I didn't really miss much.
Yeah. So the only thing you kind of missed was really just you saw. So yeah, he killed the mayor. They showed him pretty much like his face wrapped up, where he was on the ground. Then it transitioned to different shots around the city, showing different different people doing like some of them were doing like petty crimes, like fucking spray painting stuff, and then it was just building. I think it was trying to build up that these different criminals fear the dark, because it would show like a dark hallway, and then niggas will look and then they'll be like, oh, I don't know if the Batman's there, and they'll run off. Right. It was one scene to do with spray paint, and then a can rolled past him. He was just like, he looked through this hallway. It was like a door, and he just like sprinted off. And then it showed the bat signal, and then niggas started like clearing the streets, and it showed helicopters and stuff. So it was just building up like, okay, right. They kind of they fear him. Yeah,
these opening minutes definitely established like this Batman is not to be messed with.
This Batman will put you in the morgue.
Yeah,
and we'll get to that later.
Opening scene where he was like messing with them guys on some like Arkham Asylum type stuff. When the dude like rushed him, because I mean you gotta keep in mind like this is near the end of year 2 for Batman, so like he's established a presence, but some like goons still kind of like fearing, like who is this guy? Yeah. Like you saw that when one dude tried to run up on him and made a sorry mistake.
Man got whooped.
Yeah, but then another thing I liked just throughout this movie, and you kind of saw that first when he was fighting the goons, was like this Batman still has like some work to do. Like he has a long way to go, and you kind of see that like they got some hits in on him. And later on, like, we'll talk about, like, the amount of times this nigga got shot up. Like, you would think this nigga 50 Cent or something. He's lucky. Hey, he's lucky he has that armor, because there are points in the movie where he took a shotgun blast at point blank range, and I'm like, God damn.
That man Bruce said, "Many men, many men, wish death upon me." No, but yeah. So going back to that fight scene with the goons, the when he pulled up, because they were messing with old dude on the train, and then he pulled up, and you just hear like the footsteps in the darkness, and he creeps up. When he popped up, I was like, damn,
Yeah.
he about to fuck them up.
And it's like there's different scenes where it's like the walk that he does, like you can hear him, like hear his presence, and just like it's almost like he demands fear.
He got that Conquerors hockey.
It's a One Piece reference for those who don't know. But yeah, definitely that type beat. But after that, you know, it cuts to the scene where we get our first glimpse of like Jim Gordon going to the scene of the mayor getting killed, and we kind of see the Batman come in there, and it's like you know, this cops are still in this point in time, like the cops are still like anti-Batman. Like this is before he's really cool with Jim Gordon. This is before Jim Gordon is even the commissioner.
Yeah,
he's like, well, he's not. Let me not say he's not cool with
this
Jim Gordon, because he's still cool with him.
Yeah, he's cool with him, but this is before everybody else understands their dynamic.
Yeah,
fully.
Understands their dynamic. This is before people realize like, okay, he's here to help. So the cops are trying to charge this nigga up, like, nigga,
yeah,
like, what are you doing,
bro? When that one dude put his hand out, it was like, Gordon, you serious? You gonna let him come in there?
Yeah,
I was like, bro, get your
what
ass.
are you gonna do that?
I said, boy, you better if you don't move.
Right, and then we get, you know, our first, I guess, not encounter, but like our first visual of how serious this Riddler
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they go in there, then they see pretty much his face is covered up in the tape, and it says what did it say on there? No more lies.
No more lies.
Yeah.
And just like a lot of things, it was just a lot of different from what I got from this Riddler was like Saw type vibes.
Yeah, and that's one thing I'll say that I really enjoyed about this Riddler was that he was. I'll go more in depth than what I think about him, but he was a very much overcasting force in the sense of, it's not that he was brute strength, but it was just like the sense of like, I really need to figure out what this nigga's doing before shit goes left. So that's what I really enjoyed.
Yeah, and then this is like, you could tell everything was planned out, like nothing, everything was intentional, from the ciphers to the things he left behind, like you could tell.
Yeah. So then after that part of the movie, you get your first real like note or riddle, no pun intended, from the Riddler. Then it just says to the bat.
Yeah, I think what it was like what is, it was something along the lines of like what is a liar do when he's dead, or something like that.
Yeah,
and like the answer was like he lies still.
Yeah.
You know, it was hard.
I'm surprised you remember that. The only riddles I kind of remember was the ones that were in the 2 minutes, and that was that was a time, boy. I'll talk about that later.
Yeah. So you kind of understand, like, okay, this Riddler is, you know, serious. Like, he's not really to be messed with, and you can tell that he's just now getting on the scene. And later on, that, you know, we kind of realize like this is a byproduct of the Batman's doings, you know, previous, like his first year, and like later on, earlier in his year 2 days. Like
this is pretty much a product of him.
Yeah, this is his doing.
Yeah, and I like how they kind of said that, because a lot of times they'll be like, "Oh yeah, the villain popped up," but it's like, why did he pop up? It's because Batman's here.
Exactly.
And they're trying to. It's like, even though they want something, but they are like, okay, he's a force that thinks he's justice, so why don't I oppose him? So I liked how they threw that in there. It was like, oh yeah, you're definitely the reason he showed up.
But it's like, for this Riddler, this Riddler was inspired by the Batman. Like, he saw what the Batman was doing in terms of like taking out crime or like corrupt things, and he was like, well, let me do that. I'm seeing like this system, in Gotham is corrupt. So let me take down all these different officials doing all this corrupt stuff that we see, later on, where like everybody was
fucking dirty.
Yeah, everybody was in some shit. And I also liked just how realistic in terms of how modern this Batman was. Like you could tell that the director Matt Reeves kind of wanted to make sure like if this Batman was real, this is how he would look. These are like some of the gadgets he would have. I thought what was really cool was the like contact camera lenses that he had.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was hard.
That was dope.
Damn. And I think that's pulled from one comic. I'm not sure, but usually in the comics, it's usually the cowl that will record everything.
Yeah,
like it's just a lens through the eye that he'll record. But it was the contacts. I'm like, damn, that's kind of hard.
Yeah, because after the crime scene, he went back to the Batcave, and that's when they showed the actual contact lenses.
Right. And then I don't know if you noticed, but like the Batcave wasn't really that.
It wasn't a cave. That whole was a garage.
Right. It wasn't super big, so you could tell like he's still fleshing out this cave, getting different things. Like it's not just unlimited money Batman.
Yeah, this is
unlimited money Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, it's like I think for him it was just like he's still figuring out how to determine who's Bruce Wayne and who's Batman.
Yeah, you could tell that like when he was Bruce Wayne, he was not like that was not the real him in my opinion. Like he was just doing Bruce Wayne just to be Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. So that's what I liked about this movie and then they showed you the little booklet he had and it said year 2. So I liked how they emphasized like, okay, a lot of the Batmans we're used to are like these ones that are already established, or even if they're not established, they're kind of fast forwarded through stuff quicker. So I like how they showed how he still has to make that distinction between himself and Batman. And so on the later movies, you get to see that evolution in him. Hopefully, more than likely.
Yeah, absolutely. Indubitably. Just I guess fast forward to when we first see when they first decipher the code and it's like El Rata, that's pretty much like the whole reoccurring theme of the movie. Like who like what is this bat with wings supposed to think? And when he saw like this rat with wings, I'm thinking like, is he talking about Batman?
Yeah,
that's what I initially thought.
When he said rat with wings, I was like Batman, he's talking about you. And then and then he was like, oh, a pigeon or a penguin? I said, all right, you're definitely you're definitely year 2. I said you're definitely year 2.
Right. So that's when we go to the Penguin and
the Iceberg Lounge.
Yeah, Iceberg Lounge. I thought this was a very nice depiction of the Penguin. Like it wasn't just no
waddling short nigga.
Right. And even though he did waddle the weed, which was hilarious, like he was still meant to be reckoned with. Like he wasn't just no cartoon character. Like this was some Scarface, Al Capone type shit 2.0, which is who the Penguin character is supposed to be. Like who's supposed to be at heart, really.
I think my bad to cut you off. I think the funniest part about the Iceberg Lounge was the twins. The twins that answered the door.
Those are actually those two twins are like drawn straight from the comics. They're supposed to be like, I think Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Oh, I know who you're talking about now. Yeah.
That's who those twins supposed to be.
And it's funny. I liked how in this Batman he wasn't like, he was stealthy, but at the same time he was like, bro, I don't give a fuck. So he knocked on the front door. We knocked on the front door. They opened. I was like, what the fuck do you want?
Yeah.
He was like, I'm here to see Penguin. They closed the door. I burst out laughing.
Yeah. And I also like how they came back to that when it was Bruce Wayne and how you could just see like the different parallels. Like when he first went there to the next time he went there, it was like two different people in a way, but it was the same scene. It was the same scene, but a different scene at the same time. If that makes sense. I thought that was really cool just to see those contrasts.
Yeah. So once he actually goes into the Iceberg Lounge, he starts fighting some niggas, but then Penguin shows up and says, "Oh, let's talk upstairs," whatever. So people start cheering and shit. That part kind of it was cool, but it confused me for like a split second. But I wasn't tripping about it. But then they go up to the little suite area, I guess.
Yeah.
And then we get to see Catwoman for the first time.
Mm.
Boy, I have to just say this.
Oh, man.
Zoe Kravitz is a very beautiful woman.
Black women are beautiful, but let me refocus.
Black women are beautiful.
But let me refocus.
Nah, she came up on the screen. I said, the whole theater was quiet. I said, damn. Nah, that was.
Man, they was looking at you, bro. There was someone next to me that was just like, just couldn't keep it together when every time she came on screen. I'm like, all right, nigga, relax. I'm like, we get it. She's bad.
Yeah, nah, that first part, I definitely had to say, damn. After that, I was just like, I think she did a good depiction of this version of Catwoman.
Yeah, I think she was a very good Catwoman.
Yeah, because I wasn't looking for like the, I guess you say jewelry thief style, because that's not the type of Catwoman in my mind I was gonna get out of this movie with how this Batman was played.
Mm-hmm. And I also like how they did her backstory. They kind of took that from the comics too, where she was pretty much adopted by Carmine Falcone. Which side note, that casting for Carmine Falcone,
that threw me all the way off.
Yeah.
Because
he played a good Falcone.
No, he played
Falcone.
good.
It was supposed to, like, for those who don't know, it's supposed to be pronounced Carmine Falcone. I don't know where the Falcone came from, but
it's because on some of the animated movies they say Falcone, and other ones they say Falcone. So they probably just tossed it in there.
But since he's Italian, it's supposed to be Falcone.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
No, yeah, because
it was good. He played a very good Falcone, but I was like, oh shit, he's supposed to be.
Yeah, and then. If y'all don't know, if y'all seen Transformers, the nigga from Sector 7, who always kept messing with Shia LaBeouf, this kind of skinny dude, that's who played Carmine Falcone. But yeah, when he popped up on the screen, I definitely did a pause, and I was like, Sector 7? I was like, what the fuck are you doing in this movie? Because I don't remember, like, I looked at the casting, I don't remember him, unless I just completely blanked it out of my mind. I don't remember him in
any real like promotional material, unless it just slipped my mind. That shook me. I was like, oh snap. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, that was definitely an aha moment. I was like, oh shit.
Nah, but I thought he played a very good Falcone. I thought the twist at the end where he ended up being a rat was very interesting.
Yeah,
and it just showed how like powerful he was in the show. And it was a lot of parallels, like I talked about earlier. It was a lot of things that they pulled from the Batman Long Halloween through, like when they brought up when Falcone was talking to Bruce and was saying like, "Oh yeah, I know your dad from way back. Like he saved me from, he pretty much operated me after I got shot."
Yeah,
that was pulled straight from.
That was definitely straight
Long
from
Halloween.
Yeah,
and same for when he got assassinated. That was straight from the comics too. So it was a lot of, the movie just gave like a lot of like Long Halloween vibes. Obviously it wasn't a complete Batman Long Halloween adaptation, but it was very interesting seeing those like parallels from that. And also like those different things that are pulled from like Hush. Like literally it was a scene in the movie where it said Hush, like when he was walking in that old abandoned orphanage, and the doors, like one of the things said Hush, and I was like, this is definitely a Hush reference if it ever is one.
Yeah, but going back to the chronological part, when we after the Iceberg Lounge was what was it? It was that
was when he went to kind of spy on Catwoman.
Yeah.
Because when the Catwoman's friend was
the one that was in the photos.
Yeah.
That Penguin had. Well, not
no,
Penguin
it was the Riddler.
Yeah, the Riddler had, and he showed Penguin.
Yeah, so she was kind of on the hot seat, and she ended up dying.
Yeah, but he ended up following Catwoman there, and then Catwoman went to the mayor's house where he got assassinated, and then he pretty much followed her there, and then they found more stuff because they found out that the mayor had Catwoman's friend. I forgot her name, but
she had a passport.
Yeah, The mayor had her passport.
Yeah, that was just. I think that was from Long Halloween too. Just different things from the Long Halloween. I mean, obviously, if they wanted, they could have did a Long Halloween live action movie, but this was a lot better. I'm glad we got this.
Yeah, and then after that point, they pretty much went to. Was it the next?
They went to her apartment because I remember it was that scene where he was like, "You have a lot of cats."
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And then that's pretty much when they were like, "Okay, we're gonna team up, quote unquote." Mm-hmm. And then they went back to the Iceberg Lounge because Selena, Catwoman, put on the what's it called, the contacts recorders. I don't know, fucking recording contacts.
This nigga Batman was definitely on his Joe Goldberg type shit. When he was following them, like niggas, like especially Catwoman.
Oh,
like when he was on that building, I'm like, damn, nigga, weird ass.
Yeah, no.
If this was anybody else, he would be. This nigga would have went to jail.
Yeah, so it was after that they did the contacts when they went back into the back into the Iceberg Lounge, and then Selena started talking to the different officials, and they met the DA. Pretty much the entire DA office, and then the dude started talking about the rat and everything. I forgot his name. I'd have to relook it up, but it's not important. That nigga, spoiler, that nigga dies.
Wait, who?
The DA.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That was almost. So I'm kind of interested to see, since now he's dead, that may make room for a Harvey Dent.
We'll talk about that later because I have what I have to say about Harvey.
Okay.
But no, I'll fuck with you. But after that, it was different transition scenes and more stuff. But the next main big part was the funeral, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was
the mayor's funeral.
Yeah. So it was the mayor's funeral.
But then before that, that's when they went to the Iceberg Lounge and that's when they had Catwoman go down to like the underground level. I forgot what they called it, but it's like the club within the club.
That's crazy. You know why that's crazy?
Why?
I just said that.
Damn. I zoned out.
Yeah. This nigga sucks. No, but yeah. But after that, pretty much, you made me lose my train of thought. Damn.
When you were talking about the funeral, you saw Bruce Wayne there.
Yeah. So at the funeral,
at the
funeral, they pulled up, and then you see the different. I'm gonna say cult following, because the Riddler at that point started having a cult following. You see the people with the Riddler suit saying "No more lies,"
right? Yeah,
saying "Tell the truth," and a whole bunch of other posters they had set up.
Yeah, I remember.
And then I think another good showing for this to display that this is still like a Batman that hasn't distinguished between himself and Bruce Wayne was when he got out the car. On most of the other Batman scenes, if Batman got out the car, there's cameras, he'll turn and wave, look at him, even if it's like a sad quote unquote situation, he'll turn and look at him. But in this one, he just still looked extra pissed, like he didn't know what was going on. Well, not what was going on, but like pissed and like over analyzing everything. So people were like, Bruce Wayne, all this stuff. And he just had his back to them. And then he started walking up the stairs because he saw Falcone get out the car with who he thought in his mind was Selena, because he just saw the boots and he was like, oh, that's the same boots she wears.
Right.
And then after that, he goes inside, and then pretty much it's just different talking. Then the mayor candidate, what was her name? I don't know. The mayor candidate, she pulls up and is like, "Oh, Mr. Bruce Wayne, we need to have a talk. I've been trying to contact you so we can connect and
then that help." Just shows how like little Bruce Wayne is caring about his Bruce Wayne persona. Like you could tell he's literally like a bat. Like he's just taking care of Batman shit during the night and probably sleeping during the day, having either Alfred and whoever that other lady was take care of their stuff. And probably like you saw how Alfred was like, your business is kind of about to hit hot water. Like you need to start taking after your shit, for your family. He's like, I don't care about that stuff right now.
Yeah.
Also, side note, I thought this was very interesting. I didn't realize this until after I watched the movie, but the lady, like the little, I guess, maid that they had, is like a Batman 66 reference. Like it's almost, I don't know if you remember that, but they had like I think her name was like Aunt Anne or something like that. They had someone like that in the Batman 66 show. So that was like, I guess, a nice little Easter egg or reference to that for that maid that they had. But anyway, I thought that was very interesting. But back to
the funeral. Yeah, so after that, Bruce pretty much is like, he's standing next to the crowd. So it's like once they go into the funeral and everything, y'all remember when y'all saw the movie, it's the crowd. Then the one dude who was like, haven't I seen you before? He was saying all that stuff, but then he looked at Bruce. I thought that was kind of funny because they both did like a pause and looked at each other for like 2 seconds, and they both was like, "Do I fucking know you?"
Yeah.
And then in my mind, I was like, okay, that can't be the Riddler. That can't be the Riddler. But at the same time, I was like, that is. At the same time, I was like, ooh, what if it is?
Nah. But I thought it was also funny when it was like that same cop that was trying to stop him from coming in as Batman.
Oh, and he was fanboying.
And he was like, "That's Bruce Wayne." I was like,
"You get your fan." I was like,
I thought that was pretty funny. Just seeing that parallel, and then when he saw the mayor's kid,
future Robin? Question mark.
I don't think so.
That nigga Billy better toughen up.
I don't think so. That's not another Robin.
Nah, but after that, pretty much the next big scene after that was when the car flew in there, the DA's car.
That was actually crazy.
Yeah, because it was like a dinging noise. Everybody was looking around. You hear people screaming outside or like yelling, not screaming, yelling. And then the car flies inside. And as the car is flying inside, Batman's looking up at the top balcony area, rope, whatever. I don't fucking know what that shit's called.
Balcony.
Yeah, balcony, top floor. But he's looking at it, then he just sees somebody in the very center just looking down, and he does that pause, and he's like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, I think that's supposed to be the Riddler.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah,
but then once the car crashes in, he disappears, and then the DA, oh dummy, Bro, the thing about him was when he got in his car, I was like, "You got no fucking peripheral, nigga," because he got in the car. And he drunk too. I was like,
right.
Yeah. As he was going in his car, I was like, damn, you about to drink and drive? I said, I don't know if I feel bad about you.
I said, maybe you do need to die.
Yeah. So
maybe police need to be reformed.
Yes, they do. Yeah, but no, when he got in the car and then the freaking seat, the head part of the seat was on the thing. He was like, huh? And then he turned and the dude was like,
yeah. I was like,
the freaking Riddler was like, relax.
Yeah, that was probably the dumbest death in the whole movie. I'm sorry. I was like, that's easily preventable. It was like everybody in the audience knew. At least I did. I was like, yeah, this can't end well. Yeah. And it did not.
Not at all. So when he popped out the car and he had that fucking bomb on his neck, and then the phone. The funny thing was, so you saw how they rode in there like during the day, like the car crashed in there during the day. Yeah. Then it showed him pretty much sitting in that chair. The bomb fucking robot was there, but the phone was still ringing. Nigga, how much battery life did that phone have?
That shit was on full battery.
Nigga, that shit was ringing.
It was an Android on power saving mode.
That shit was ringing.
No, it was an iPhone because he FaceTimed us.
I know that shit was ringing. That shit was ringing from noon to fucking 10 p.m. Because Batman showed up like 10 hours later. I said, bro, I said, how much battery life this bitch got? But then that nigga answered the FaceTime, bro. The Riddler. I'm not gonna lie to you. When the Riddler popped up, he was like, he made that face. He made that face in the screen. I know that hoe wasn't supposed to be funny. I burst out laughing.
Nah, this Riddler was
psycho.
He was just, maniac. But I thought that was very good. I thought the actor that played him did a very good role in playing him. Definitely got a lot of like Zodiac killer vibes from his attitude to his mannerisms and things like that.
Yeah, but what'd you think about? What do you think about when when he after he was like, okay, the bomb is gonna go off in 2 minutes and you have to answer 3 riddles. What would you have done?
I was snitched.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. That first question, That first question would have put me. That day was like the first question. The first answer is what he say? Justice.
Yeah, he was like sometimes can be cruel, darker, harsher, something like that. Is like, but pretty much, yeah. This word is describing justice, and then the second one was like, something on the lines like, "Do not lie."
Yeah,
or something in your mind's eye. What is it, or something like that?
Yeah, nah. And it was like, was it dead? No, it wasn't dead.
It had something to do with like the answer had something to do with like how much was he paid to bribe.
Yeah, it was like
something about a bribe.
Yeah, it was like
asking about.
Yeah, it was
the bribe money.
it was how much would it take for you to turn your blind eye? And he was like, shit, $10K. No, I would, but that first one, I'm not gonna lie. If Batman wasn't, honestly, if Batman was there, I wouldn't have answered that question myself. I would have been like, nigga, what are you talking about? Nah, bro, them questions would have put me in a blender.
Yeah, same. I was like, yeah, I'm a dead man.
Nah, and then, bro, the last question
I would have been like, Superman, come get me.
I would have been like, Barbara. How do you know that name?
And then the last one pretty much was asking him to be like, who's the rat?
Who's the rat?
Who are you protecting?
Yeah.
Which we all knew was Carmine Falcone.
Yeah.
So,
we didn't know at that time, but
yeah,
we know
that's
now.
what it led to.
Yeah.
Carmine.
Nah,
he was like, yeah, I'm not. That just shows how like feared this dude is. He was willing to die before giving up his
blown up.
Yeah, blown up before giving up the rat.
Yeah, and can we talk about how like this Batman was very human in the sense of he took damage.
Yeah,
because a lot of times the other Batmans or a few of the Batmans, like they'll take damage, but it'll only be from like the freaking main villain. It wouldn't be from like random stuff. Like that man, he got hit when that thing blew up and he blacked out for like a few minutes. I was like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, this wasn't no League of Assassins Batman. This was some home trained Batman. And I'm pretty sure in this universe he was trained by Alfred.
Yeah,
I think he even brought that up too. But
that I think that was for me that wasn't the worst like riddle or death, but that would have been the one that definitely would have folded me. I would have folded. The first one, that nigga just got slatted. He just died in his home, so that nigga should have had peripherals on. This one, that nigga said three riddles in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
As soon as he said that, I would have been like, I'm not gonna lie to you, Chief. Just blow me up. Tell my family I love them.
Yeah.
But yeah, after that, it was...
Then got transported to the police and then was being held in the police station.
Yeah.
Because now, I guess people thought he was in on it with the Riddler.
Yeah.
And then Jim Gordon got him out. Also, I really like Jim Gordon and Batman's relationship in the movie. So that was very good. Also, it was very comic book accurate. That's pretty much how their relationship is too. Not saying like this Jim Gordon wasn't like the best one. I think like not saying like other Jim Gordons weren't good either. I really like the Dark Knight trilogy one. Pretty much looked like him to a T. But yeah, this Jim Gordon he was on that. Shout out to Jeffrey Wright.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Watcher.
Yeah, but for that scene, I really liked how they did that little short dialogue when he was like when they started arguing, then Gordon was like, "All right, everybody get out, I'm gonna talk to him, And he was like,
"I need you to get the fuck out of here."
And he was like, "Take this key, punch me in the face, and run up the fucking stairs and get out." I was like, okay, Jim.
He was like, "I need you to take these keys, get the fuck out of here." He was like, "Damn, you didn't have to punch me that hard."
Yeah, when they pulled back up at the best signal,
I told you to punch me, but not that hard. What are you holding back?
He was like, that man Jim was like, "Next time you could have pulled your punch," and then that nigga Batman was like, I did.
And it was different times like that too, where it was like, "Yeah, we need to get you out of here." That whole scene was just funny too. Even like the scene where he had to like escape out of there.
Yeah,
You could tell that was
that scene.
his first. Well, I wouldn't say his first rodeo, but he's still new to this.
Yeah, that scene felt like something that would have been in an Arkham game.
Yeah,
Like I could just imagine, I could visualize myself being on an Arkham game and then running through the police station, having to dodge cops, or like do like different counters while running past cops to escape. That's what went through my mind.
Yeah, and then
for that scene.
that scene was good. I thought the scene where like that car chase scene. Also, shout out to that Batmobile, man. I think that's the best Batmobile that we've gotten in like media. I'll say it's that one, the Tim Burton one in like Batman 1989, and then the Dark Knight one after that in terms of ranking Batmobiles. Like that was some. It was really just a Dodge Challenger just juiced up.
Yeah.
I was like, this shit hard. And it's like when he got in that car, like and just started revving it up, you was just like, oh shit, like
Nah, that hoe was insane.
Yeah. That thing was crazy.
Yeah. And then it popped up after, did they already kill, I'm trying to remember the sequence. The current police chief.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they killed him and then it went to the car scene stuff, everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and the police chief, his death, that one, I was like, ugh.
Yeah, that was that
one.
rap. I was like, this is straight. Almost, I think that was from Saw. That had to be from Saw.
Even the contraptions he was putting like on their faces and stuff, I was like, okay, this is
Saw. Straight out of Saw.
Yeah, but the rat ones, I was like, that, like, it takes a lot for me. It takes a lot or like random stuff in movies for me to be like feeling comfortable or like be like, ugh. Because most movies I can watch and be cool with it, right? But that scene, there's just seeing the rest and then hearing him, I was like, oh man, come on, bro. I was like, ooh,
damn, this nigga dead.
Yeah, I was like, this is not good. Yeah, and that's when they got the new clue, because they had another one with the DA, but it wasn't. It was important, but then this one was the rat maze, and it was the clue inside of it. Yeah. And then after that, what was it? After that, they went to the drops. That was the name of the drugs. Yeah, they went to the little factory where they were selling
those drops to the other the other family. I think was I can't think of their name right now.
It's Falcone and
Marone. I was about to say Maroney's.
I was about to say Maloney. It's definitely not that.
It's something with an M.
I'm pretty sure if it's not an M, it's
the Maroney's just sound wrong.
Yeah, that's definitely wrong.
The other family.
Yeah, they were the other niggas.
They were manufacturing them drugs, and we see them trying to pull a fast one on the Penguin, and then we see the Catwoman.
Yeah, that's when she shows up again for like a big scene. Because other times it was just kind of here and there. Yeah. So in this one, she goes into the back of the truck, and then she opens up. She's trying to get the money because she's like, oh, Falcone owes me this money. She doesn't say why exactly, but she's just like, Falcone owes me this money. Yeah. And then she goes to retrieve it, and then she opens up one bag, and it's her friend. Yeah. Yeah, the friend that they killed. And so after that, they it's like it's a gunfight. Gordon a real nigga, bro. Gordon pulled up. Them niggas had fucking submachine guns, pistols. It was like 10 of them. And Gordon pulled up one deep and said, "Fuck it." He said that nigga said I up my blick.
At that point, I was like, I hope this nigga don't get shot doing no dumb shit. But yeah, that scene was crazy.
And then that's when we fully see the Batmobile in action. That shit.
I think that's the best car chase scene that I've watched in a minute. Now, I would say it was a bit too long.
You think so? I liked it.
So just a tad bit. Like they could have cut out like a few minutes of that. But it was I'm not that's just me like nitpicking.
This
like
nigga's a hater, bro.
I'm not a hater. Shut up. It's just me nitpicking
This who y'all listen to, bro. I'm fucking with you. Keep going.
Anywho, then it's like it was just great. Like especially when the Penguin flipped them cars and like thought he killed the Batman, and then the Batman just rushed through the flames. The whole scene that we see in the trailers, and he just comes from the flames as just like Dark Knight demon type shit. It's just like that whole walk scene was just
that walk scene
amazing.
That walk scene was one of the livest walk scenes I ever seen.
Exactly.
The one thing though was when he came up to the car, he did.
When he looked under, he was like,
when he peeked through the window, I burst out laughing.
I said, now that's what they could have cut out. They could have cut that part out. They could have because that was a little bit goofy in my opinion.
Yeah, if they just showed if they stopped it right where his feet was like right in front of the car, and then they transitioned to when them interrogating Penguin, that would have been it would have been a little bit different effect. But that nigga, when he peeked down, I said.
That was hilarious. I was
Bro,
like, what am I looking at?
Bro, he peeked down. I was like, hi, how are you?
Then that's when they were interrogating the Penguin. It just goes to show, like, dang, this Batman is misstep. Like, through this whole movie,
it was missteps.
Just missteps
a lot.
You could tell that the Riddler was always one step ahead, and that's kind of how it is in the comics too. But especially in this movie, like you could tell the Riddler was just one step ahead of the thank you, one step ahead of the Batman, and it was just very interesting, like seeing these flaws in Batman, and obviously he's gonna grow from them, but I thought that was very nice too, just seeing how like this Batman isn't perfect, and that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, and then they ended up leaving the Penguin on the docks or wherever that was. I was like, damn, bro. Yeah. I don't feel bad up for you, but that's
that scene where he was waddling. That was funny.
He was waddling. Yeah, I was like, man.
I was like, I forgot this nigga was called a penguin.
Yeah. Then yeah, like what you said about the Batman fucking up a lot. I liked how Penguin even said that shit too. He was like, "Can't you fucking read?"
He's like, "Don't y'all niggas know how to speak English? I mean, Spanish." El Rata means rat with wing. It's La Rata, not El Rata.
And then Gordon and Batman looked at each other, was like, "Oh shit, we definitely
messed up. We got the wrong nigga." And then that's when they realized it was, well, I don't even think they realized. I think they realized that they were going after, I think that's when they thought it was Falcone or something like that.
Nah.
Or was it Batman? No, that's when they thought it was going after the Batman, I believe.
Yeah, they were like, the next person is, no. We fucked up. The next person wasn't Batman. It was Bruce Wayne. But one thing I just remembered that I didn't talk about was the people that the Penguin was at, the people that were at the Iceberg Lounge. The one dude that Batman punched that had the broken nose, he ended up being was he a coroner? He wasn't a police officer. He was a coroner or something, because he showed up in the police station when they were like,
yeah, he was like a chief or something.
Yeah, and I think that was one good way to show that, okay, these niggas are kind of everywhere.
Yeah,
and they're all kind of corrupted.
Corrupt. Got some dirt on them.
Yeah,
and so after that we go to the scene where they're in the orphanage, and then we start learning about the Gotham Renewal Project that was headed by Thomas Wayne. Mm-hmm. And then we kind of get some lore, like the Waynes and the Arkhams, in their history, and then with that you kind of get some. I think that was like a kind of teaser of the Court of Owls, and just kind of like seeing maybe they could kind of play with that in future movies, maybe like in the second or the third one. Yeah,
you get to see pretty much the big names of Arkham. One thing, I don't remember them ever saying his mother's name was Arkham in any iteration.
I think it was like in one comic they talked about how they kind of drew that from one of the comics where her mother was like Martha, like in the Arkham family, and how her parents were pretty much crazy and they had to put her in an institution, hence the
Arkham
Asylum name.
Yeah, because when they said it, everybody was with. We all looked at each other like, and was like, was this bitch named Arkham all the time? Because I was like, after all the stuff I read, I don't remember even knowing her last name before it being Wayne. So
I believe that's from the comics too.
Which comic? Give me the number.
Issue.
I'll figure with you. No, but yeah. So they said that. They also said, I'm trying to remember. He also brought up showing the thing, like him and his dad with Falcone. Mm-hmm. So that showed the connection of saying like, oh, he's corrupt because he was Falcone.
Yeah.
I think one thing that was really fucked up that at that point that would have put me on the edge to like beat the Riddler's ass was when he showed his mom in the in Arkham Asylum, pretty much, or in like I don't know if it was called Arkham Asylum back then, but pretty much the asylum. Yeah, showing her on the yard of it, like people chasing her down. That shit, I'm not gonna lie, if I was Batman, that would have put me over the edge. That would have been like, all right, bro, meet me right here.
Yeah. Yeah, that whole scene was crazy. And then when we realized that in that scene he was going after Bruce Wayne because there was something on the wall where it was like
the sins of your fathers.
Yeah, pretty much atoning for the sins of his father, in Thomas Wayne, which is why he was going after Bruce Wayne, because he's like, well, his dad did. I can't kill his dad, so next best thing is his son. And yeah, that scene was kind of crazy because it was like this whole time just goes back to, the Batman not being perfect. Like he was late, always like just a step behind the Riddler. You can see that was kind of like messing with Bruce in the movie.
Mm-hmm. Then pretty much after that, it went to the Bruce Wayne. Then it showed Alfred getting freaking blown up pretty much. Yeah, well, they didn't show it.
That was crazy.
They didn't show it, but it pretty much was like he opened a package and then Alfred himself realized, like, oh shit, this is a riddle.
This is why you don't read other niggas' mail. Mind your damn business.
Yeah, so yeah, it went there. And then I think that was just so crazy because he was like, he kept calling, and then it went to the maid, the lady answering, and then she was like, we've been trying to reach you, Mr. Wayne. It's already happened. And that just showed me like, okay, this he's in touch with reality, but at the same time, he's like out of touch with another instance. He's out of touch with each other, Bruce Wayne and Batman.
And then like, what was crazy about that scene was you're thinking this whole time that it was almost like a scenario type scene, that he was, like you're thinking he's gonna make it.
Yeah.
Where the whole time he gets there and it's happening along with him realizing that while he's there at the asylum.
Yeah, that part. I was like, okay,
I was like, oh,
that was good. That was very good directing. I was like, okay, because even me, I was like, oh, he's driving. I was like, oh, he gonna make it, right? Or even if he don't make it, something's gonna happen where it's not fully not Arkham. Alfred's not fully messed up, and then it was like, oh, this shit. She was like, nah, that nigga already got blown up.
Got blown up.
I was like,
there's no way he killed this nigga, man. Thankfully, he's in a hospital. And then that scene where I think after that's when he goes to Carmine, and Carmine is pretty much like, yeah, your dad pretty much had some reporter killed. Mm-hmm. So he's Carmine was kind of painting his dad to be this not so, like, this dirty man, basically, which is why
that paid for him to kill the cop. I mean, not cop, reporter.
When in Alley, he was just trying to, scare him. Yeah. And it was Carmine that took it in his own hands to just, kill him, end that name.
Because it gives him blackmail on Wayne.
Right.
Where he can use that to get him to do what he wants, in a sense.
Mm-hmm. And then that's when Alfred explained that to him. That's that's hospital scene where he pulled up on Alfred and Alfred just looking all joyous. He's like, so happy to see you. He starts smiling and Bruce is like, you lied to me.
Bro,
Like,
yeah. I was like, damn, man, you ain't even give him a chance to blink and wake up.
He was like, like, fuck. That thing went from 0 to 100 real fast. He was like, you lied to me.
Man, Alfred was like, if I told you everything I knew back then, you'd be angry like me.
Shout out to that nigga Andy Serkis.
Nah, that scene definitely, I was like, fuck. I was like, it still shows how he's like overly angry. Mm-hmm. And not that you can't be overly angry, but just like his character didn't know how to direct everything at that time.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't have control of everything. And you can tell he was very, very mad about it.
Yeah.
So I think after that, the only scene that comes to my mind is when he catches Catwoman talking to, I think it was that police chief or one of them police officers, and realized like had that recording message of her strangling that one girl.
Yeah, that recording. I'm not gonna lie, that recording was very
tough to watch. That was tough to listen to.
I was like, oh, I said, God damn, why? Yeah, that recording was definitely a little. It was heavy.
I'm not gonna lie. When she kicked him off the bridge, I was like, "Fuck that nigga."
Yeah. Well, she kicked him, and he was about to fall. And the Batman said, "I said, do you really have to?"
No guns.
No,
that was funny.
And then that's when they found out that that was her dad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. She told him, she was like, Falcone's my dad, and she explained how her mom used to work at the Iceberg Lounge and all that stuff. And she used to, or the Iceberg Lounge, but the bottom part where all the high
club within the club.
Yeah, all the high profile people actually be.
Yeah. Could you imagine Joe Biden on that shit? Bro?
He probably is. He probably be there forgetting what he be saying. Mumbling over words. America.
Oh my gosh.
Nah, but then that happened. Then pretty much that was like it started transitioning to the end sequence of things, because they went back to the Iceberg Lounge. She was gonna assassinate Falcone, and then all the power went off because Batman turned off all the power.
Yeah.
One thing I don't understand, bro. This shit pissed me off in the fucking movie. She was point blank range and missed. I said, was she shot?
She was. I was like,
she was point blank range, had the gun at that. She wasn't like 3 inches from his face, but she was close enough where it's like, okay, you shouldn't be able to duck and dodge. The lights turned off, she shot. I said, bro.
Plot.
No,
I mean, he ended up dying anyway, but
yeah, and that sequence, I was like, come on, bro. And then pretty much they did all the fight scene. I will say that fight scene when he came up to the top floor and it was they were shooting, but it kept flashing, like it was like the flash of different scenes.
Very
fighting.
well edited.
Yeah, that was really good.
Crazy.
And then his bat armor, that nigga got, I don't know what he got in there. Nigga got diamond armor,
adamantium. They got a vibranium suit. Nah, but see, again, like this nigga was getting lit up. Like this wasn't no evasive Batman like we be seeing in the Batman animated series or like these different
He
things.
was walking at niggas as they shot.
And it's like none of y'all thought to,
shoot his face.
Aim for the head. Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah.
Like this dumb.
I think that's one thing that showed, like, even though he kind of fucked up a little bit, well, not a little bit, it was a big moment, but even though he fucked up at different times on the detective side, that like he was still a menace because he would just eat bullets.
Yeah, he definitely was eating them, Johns. It was one time he was fried, but we'll get to that. And then so the lights come off. He's going to get Catwoman before she does something drastic, and then they
capture Falcone.
Right.
They take him outside, and then that nigga gets slatted.
Yeah, that scene shook me. I was like, damn.
Yeah, that was one scene. I was like, bro, I did not expect this. I did not expect him to die right here. Mm-hmm. I thought he was gonna go to jail and say some shit and then die.
Now I do remember him dying in the Long Halloween, But that scene just still surprised me. I was like, damn.
Yeah, because it happened. I was like,
It happened so fast.
Yeah, it happened. It was like that scene. It felt like real time because it was like it was no slowdown. It was like he got shot and everybody's like, "What the fuck?" Even me, I was like, "Bro, what the fuck?"
Yeah.
And then that's when we finally see after a little chase, and they go to the parlor or the diner. We see the Riddler, the real Riddler.
Yeah.
Now that dude, when they walked in there, and he was like, "What did he say? I just ordered."
He was like, I just ordered my latte or something.
Yeah,
And they slammed it.
he said something else too, but then they slammed him on the ground. He was just like,
Yeah, you could tell that nigga was crazy.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, this nigga's definitely a psycho. Mm-hmm. And then when Batman came up to the window and he started smiling smiling, all that stuff, I was like, yeah, you're a psycho.
Yeah, because at that instance, I think he realized like, okay, yeah, I got this nigga. Like, I won, in a sense. Like, because he knew he was going to get captured at some point.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much planned by him. And then following that, Batman goes to follow him. Bruh, when he started like calling him Bruce, and you could tell like Batman was like, fuck, this nigga knows who I am.
Bro, when he was in jail, he was like Bruce.
You could tell, and that was like so well done. It was like the Batman wasn't moving at all, but you could tell in his face
that nigga was sweating.
He was sweating through that cowl.
I was sweating too. I was like,
because you could tell that nigga Batman was like, I might have to kill this nigga. Bro, I might have to break my rule.
Bro, that nigga Riddler was like Nardwar. It was like, how you know?
Yeah. Who told you that?
You're Batman. We have to know.
Who gave you that piece of information? Nah, and then he was like, we almost got him. And then you could tell that just relief came off his shoulder. He was like,
and then the nigga Batman was like, he was like, you're gonna be forgotten. Bro, and then the Riddler was like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, we started screaming in there. I was like, yeah, you're definitely you got some screws loose, buddy.
Mm-hmm. Now, I guess to that scene, it was supposed to be, I guess, in that movie, there was like a recorded scene of where Batman went to go talk to the Joker for advice on how to catch the Riddler, is according to Matt Reeves, the director. So that would have been nice, but I think they cut it out for time.
Yeah, cause I was gonna say, because I know in the trailer they showed him in Arkham. And they showed him walking up to a door, but it wasn't like the screen how it was for the Riddler. It was like an actual door he was walking to, and it was a little different than that. So I think that probably was a sequence of that scene,
right?
But yeah, and then that's when the Riddler's like, "Oh, he was like, you're really not as good as you think, Batman. You haven't solved it." And when he said that, I was like, "Bro, it's another riddle, bro."
Yeah, I was like, that was the point in time where I was like, I just wanted to pull out my imaginary remote and just take the time. I was like, how much time is left for this movie and he still hasn't solved the problem?
Yeah, when he said that, I was like, I'm not gonna lie, Batman, you folding right now.
I said, you selling.
I said, I don't know who paying you, but shit, you were fucking up.
Bruce Wayne paying that nigga.
Yeah, and then that's when we figured out the last riddle was he had that
master plan.
Yeah, that master plan. He had a private. That man had a Finsta. Finsta with what do you say, 500 followers strong.
Yeah. That pretty much just showed how these villains get their goons.
Yeah,
that just shows how they get their goons. They have a following on Twitter, Instagram, and people follow them and they just ride with them.
Yeah, I like how they did that, so it made it a little more modern, where it's like, oh shit,
exactly.
Niggas can
now it makes sense. Yeah, they don't just come up out of nowhere.
These niggas can actually use the social media. Yes. Huh?
It's not just something that's there.
Yeah, so they popped up, and then pretty much he blew up the seawalls in the city. Mm-hmm. When that happened, I was like, bro, I was like, yo, Batman, you selling hard right now. What are you doing? Because I'm thinking like, typical movies. At the end of the day, like the Batman saves the day. Yeah, point blank. Like with he gonna stop the explosion.
Like with in the Dark Knight when Batman stopped both the boats from blowing up. Mm-hmm. In this movie, one of them boats would have probably blew up.
Nigga, both of them would have blew up. He wouldn't have saved nobody. He wouldn't have saved them.
But it's like in this one, it's like wow, like he actually almost succeeded in a way, and he was right there. And then when the mayor got sniped, bro.
Oh, bro.
I thought she died. I was like,
when she got shot, I said, bro.
This is racist.
I said during Women's History Month. I said, yeah, y'all are fucked up.
During International Women's Day.
Yeah, no, I was like, bro, I was like, she just got slatted in front of us, bro.
Bro, I was like, hey, yo.
No, and then
That
pretty
was
much
crazy.
Yeah, and then that fight scene on the top of the I'll just say scoreboard. On top of the scoreboard or panels, right. TV, whatever that shit is called. That I really like that whole.
No, that was good. And it just again shows, Batman is still that nigga, but he's not that nigga. Like
he's that nigga, but it's not bolded and italicized yet.
Right. It's just printed.
It's just Times New Roman 11 point font. He's not Times New Roman italicized bold 20 font.
Right. So that was good. And then that scene where he took a shotgun to the chest.
The shotgun to the chest. Range. And that nigga was
still gets beat to this day.
That nigga started blacking out. He was like, bro.
And then that scene where he took that
the adrenaline shot.
Now I think it was Venom.
I don't think it was Venom.
What'd you think it was?
A regular adrenaline shot.
You just thought. I mean, that's a nice reference if it was, because in the comics he was addicted to that shit.
Yeah.
But
the reason I don't think it's Venom is because I don't see them tying in Bane this soon in year 2.
Mm-hmm.
I see them waiting. I don't think they'll even throw him in this this trilogy. They might throw his name in there, but I don't think they'll throw it in this soon. His name, at least.
Yeah.
So I think that was just straight like adrenaline shot he made or has.
Yeah.
Now it could have been Venom, but
could have been. If it was, that's a very nice.
Yeah, it's
Easter
a nice
egg.
subtle. It's a nice subtle Easter
reference.
egg. Yeah. If it's
and
not,
then that nigga went crazy.
That nigga started beating that nigga head in. I was like,
oh shit.
I was like, get him, but damn.
I was like, this is not a kids movie.
Yeah, and then Gordon was like, stop. And he turned and looked at
Gotta
Gordon.
Get you out of here.
Yeah, bro. Once all that stuff done, he whooped everybody's ass.
Yeah.
Then he went back down there to help the people like in the flood.
Mm-hmm.
You saw how the water was like up to his chest, right?
Yeah.
And then he had the flare and he moved like the debris. He told the kid and the mayor to come with him. And they walked through the same water again, and it was back at like their hips. I was like,
that scene was crazy, like magically done. Like that scene was crazy. And then, pretty much leads to the end of the movie where, he kind of realizes like, I have to be more than just vengeance.
Yeah.
I have to be this city's hope. Because I understand like these niggas fear me, but I don't want the people I'm protecting to fear me too.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta get them something to cheer for, and hopefully we'll probably see.
I have a dream that one day
we'll see him kind of expand on that in the next few movie trilogies.
Yeah. And then after that, pretty much, movie ended. Then we get to the end where it's the Riddler and somebody else in a cell. So for me, so the first 2 people that come to mind, well, the only 2 people that I see it could be is one, the Joker, and we could talk about what they actually say in that scene, or what's his name, Two-Face. The only reason I would say Two-Face is because the side of his mouth was similar to how Two-Face was. The Joker's is a little, for me, the Joker's looks a little different than how Two-Face's, the side goes up, and then the hair on one side was a little more crazy, which how Two-Face's is. But in that scene, pretty much the Riddler was seeing that Batman kind of didn't save the day, but helped evacuate people. And then the dude on the side, the character on the side that we don't know specifically 100% who it is yet, was like
It's
was
the
like,
Joker, guys.
shut the hell up. It probably is, but the character on the side was like, hey, don't be sad. And then he was like, we can be friends, or you just need to find friends.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure and I'm almost sure it's confirmed that it's the Joker. Now this is a new Joker, like a new casted person. And I think it's kind of interesting, like to see, like if they do go the Joker route. I personally don't think that they should, like in the next movie, because we as a people have been spoon fed the Joker enough. You know, like yes, the Joker is arguably the greatest comic book villain of all time, not just Batman's best villain, but you know, the good thing that makes Batman a Batman, like who he is his like rogues gallery of other villains. So this is a great, if like with these next few movies, they could kind of explore that and not just repeat another Dark Knight trilogy with the second one being about the Joker and just playing on that idea.
I think one interesting thing they can do for like a future movie plot is, while they do have the other villains, still have the Joker kind of a presence in the sense of he stays in jail the entire time, but his influence on things just stretches out and you're just like, okay, fuck.
Now I heard a theory where it was like, you know, prior to him being in jail, like the Batman fought him already, I guess in like year 1 or early year 2, and put him in there.
Okay.
And that's why we have the clownish faced villains in the beginning of the movie, because he still has that presence. He's just in jail right now, but the Batman already took care of him. So we necessarily don't have to revisit that because the Batman already dealt with him earlier.
Yeah.
And then we can move on to like other people like Mr. Freeze or more Penguin, or exploring the Court of Owls or other things like that.
Yeah. No, I think for some of the villains I would want to see, or antagonists, I'll say antagonists. Some of the antagonists I would want to see is the Court of Owls for sure. I know we talked about in our other episode. And I think they'll definitely go that route somewhat. I don't know if they'll fully go a full deep dive. If they do, that would be insane to see. If they don't, and they do like hints in there, I would still fuck with it. But if they do a full deep dive and then they show the Court of Owls, Talon, and then another villain along with those, I think that would be like a really good sequence to go towards. Another villain I would want to see, and we said this villain too, was Mr. Freeze, because I feel the only Mr. Freeze we've had is Arnold Schwarzenegger's Freeze.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That's the only Mr. Freeze we had. So besides that, it's like
that in the Batman animated series.
Yeah,
is by far the best.
Yeah, well, I'm not counting them as like I'm talking movies, but
okay.
Yeah. So if you do one of them, I feel like that whole sequence will be good. And then obviously we'll start Penguin, but I'm not counting him because he's already established.
Well, so the Penguin, from what I heard, is supposed to be getting his own like Netflix spinoff series.
Yeah.
You can.
That's
use
the one I
that
was talking about last time. Yeah.
So you can use that to explore that mythos, to explore how he kind of climbs up the ranks in the midst of a power struggle. Yeah, with no more Falcone.
I liked how they talked about that too. They were like, okay, since Falcone is going, it's going to be a power struggle for like the Gotham underworld, air quotations. So
then that's how you build up the Penguin street cred to just not be the Penguin, like a Batman Al Capone-ish character. I feel like you were saying, they could combine the Court of Owls and the Mr. Freeze characters in like the next movie. Like you have him kind of fighting Mr. Freeze, or that being like Mr. Freeze's almost origin story in a way. And you use that to kind of explore the lore of the Waynes and the Arkhams, and even like the Court of Owls back then, and kind of maybe see if the Waynes are being controlled by the Court of Owls and the Arkhams, and how deep that mythos goes. But
no, that would be insane.
Yeah. I don't know. Y'all pretty much heard our thoughts. This is a great movie. If you still here and you haven't seen it, I don't know what to tell you, but go watch it. I'll probably watch it a second time. I don't know when though.
I'm gonna probably go during this upcoming week, because I wanna. There's a few more Easter eggs I noticed in there that I've seen. And then, speaking of Easter eggs, so
Easter? No, but
X Karma. No, I'm joking. But so the website, what is it called? Have you been on it?
I haven't been on it, but I pretty much know that it's supposed to be like
It's the Riddler's website.
Yeah, the Riddler's website
So,
is the actual website you can go to.
So listeners, if y'all go to RATALADA.com, which is what the Riddler used. Rada. Yeah, on there, it just hit 100%. So like after the movie, it was going up in percentages.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like at like 12%, 20 something, 30 something, and each percentage would give you a different message or different thing. So now it's at 100%. The first one it gave you was this it gave you a picture, and pretty much the picture was in this coded how the Riddler did it on the movie. And the code has said, what does it say? The code has said, it was like, it's not over yet, Batman, something else is coming soon.
Yeah.
And then it says, you will know the truth or the full truth soon.
Yeah.
And then after that, for the newest one, which after it hit 100%, it gives you all the files that the Riddler had on the movie. And you're able to see the different pictures, and it's actual additional stuff on there. So I've been looking at it. That was really live. Yeah, I'll probably do a shit talking about that, but it has different pictures and stuff.
Yeah, that could be a whole episode in itself, but that just kind of goes like what we were talking about, how you can use that to kind of add towards the different background Gotham lore on these different like old families that have been in Gotham for a long time.
Yeah, no, it's really in depth. But this is near the end of the show, so now we're about to get into
the get in your bag segment. You guys' favorite segment. So this one, I'm trying to shake the table a little bit. So we pretty much all agree that this Riddler antagonist was very well done. But my question is this Riddler character better than all the MCU villains? Is it the best villain that we've gotten to date in comparison like to the different MCU villains?
In comparison to MCU villains? So
yes.
Okay.
That includes a Thanos, that includes a Ultron, that includes a Killmonger, that includes a Baron Zemo.
He's definitely better than Killmonger. I don't care what y'all say to me. I don't care if you attack me. He's better than Killmonger. Bro, we could do a whole villains episode. The one thing about Killmonger that still pisses me off to this day was that one sentence, "Hey, auntie." I said, bro. Come on, man. That one thing pissed me. I don't know why it even made me mad. It's just, I don't know. It felt so out of place. But besides that, for all MCU villains, I think he's definitely under Thanos.
You don't think he's better than Thanos? Because if you break down Thanos,
I am inevitable.
But I'm saying, like, if you break down Thanos to his core, his reasoning for what he did, why he did, doesn't really make sense.
Thanos?
Like,
he wanted to save the universe. It was a valid reason. There's overpopulation.
So to do that, you kill half of all life in the universe? You don't just double the resources?
No, that's too much. Then,
how? You have the gauntlet. You can do that.
Because that will still progress everything at the same rate. So you cut it down, and you cut it down. It's like blunt trauma. You cut it down, and then it has to be a longer healing process.
That's still genocide.
Man, he's not better than that. And then the reason I'll say, so are we talking about to the core, or are we talking about their impact on things?
I guess both, like how they impacted the.
Okay, if we're talking about impact,
the protagonist.
Okay, he's definitely not better than Thanos.
What?
Thanos' presence was felt since Avengers 1.
Well, I'm saying, like, in this movie, you never got the idea that the Batman got the leg up on the Riddler. The Riddler always had the leg up on Batman until like the very end.
That's cute.
Bruh.
You think you think he's better than Thanos?
I think so, yes. Definitely more complex.
You're bugging.
He's more complex.
More complex. He was just more crazy.
and more complex. Like if you break down Thanos, he was just a homicidal maniac.
No,
Yes,
he was very charismatic.
If you break it down to the simplest form,
if you break down Thanos,
he was literally trying to just kill. He was trying to his reasoning to do why he did. I understand that the resources are depleting. You have the Infinity Gauntlet. Just make more of the shit.
His reasoning is different because if we're doing straight MCU, you can argue that maybe it's dumb. Okay, I'll do straight MCU. Mm-hmm. His reasoning is still better in the sense that I'm trying to figure out how to formulate this. Mm-hmm. He's still a better character because if you look at the way what he impacted since the Avengers movie, it touches every movie besides maybe like 2 or 3 here and there. Mm-hmm. So his impact on not only the Avengers, but the Guardians, Wakanda, and everything else is more impactful than the Riddler just fucking with one city. Even if you say, okay, the Riddler is messing with the entire Justice League, he wouldn't be as impactful as Thanos because Thanos was literally feared throughout the galaxy.
Mm-hmm. I guess his
his outreach is better.
Yeah,
but then
even want to argue scale, then
but even the way his character was made. So his character, even though he's a quote unquote homicidal maniac, if you want to say it like that, pretty much his build was okay. He was on this planet. He was labeled an outcast on his planet because they were like, oh, we shouldn't follow what he's saying because why would we do this? We have enough resources. We can produce enough resources. We can fix it ourselves. And even though his idea was a fucking crazy one, I'm not denying that. The nigga's insane. But it came to fruition where he's like, okay, I told y'all this was going to happen. Now look at y'all. Y'all are all dead. Mm-hmm. And then it goes on to the way he's able to assemble not only his, what's it called, the children of Thanos, that sense too, but the way he's able to impact the protagonist. He made Tony go insane. He made Thor almost go insane too. Thor was on the,
but he almost made the Riddler. In terms of the Riddler, he made the Batman almost pushed to the edge. You know what I'm saying?
He didn't make him go insane. He made him angry.
Right.
There's a difference between Thanos' presence making you wake up at night and remembering everything that's like happened to you than Batman being like, fuck, I need to solve this. I'm pissed off. There's a difference between Thanos going to knowing what you love and impact. He's tearing it down. He's coming back at you. He's pretty much mocking you in a sense. And then you're like, okay, I'm at 0. I'd say the only way I'd say the Riddler would be close. He's still not nowhere near. Only way
you think he's nowhere near the Thanos?
No.
What?
Only way I'll say, because if he's that close to Thanos, then that means the Joker from The Dark Knight is miles ahead. So the only way the Riddler would be close in that sense would be if he won. He would have had to kill. He would have had to kill Alfred. He
almost did.
But he didn't kill him. He would have had to kill Alfred. Then he would have had to make it a display. He would have had to do some type of display with Jim Gordon to the sense. And then he would have had to unmask Batman. That's the only way I would have been like, okay, this Riddler is the best shit since fried chicken.
In my opinion, the only reason why he didn't kill the Riddler is because of plot. Like, he pretty much should have killed him. Alfred in that scene should have died. We can agree that he should have died. The only reason why he didn't is because this movie was rated PG-13 and not rated R.
But we're talking, but their characters are defined by the plot. If we don't talk about plot, then Thanos is way better. If we take out plot,
I have to disagree, man. Because it's just like, yes, Thanos had like different scenes that just established his presence and his power, but if you kind of bring him down to the core, his reasoning for what he did, in my opinion, just didn't make a lot of sense. Like,
see, but you're only thing you're talking about right now is his reasoning. You're not talking about his character as a whole.
But I'm saying that's part of that is his character.
Because if that's his character as a whole, then the Riddler's character as a whole is helping Batman.
No, it wasn't.
His character as a whole.
He thought he was helping Batman.
No.
What are you talking
If you say Thanos' character as a whole is what'd you say it was again? Say it again.
It's just him killing niggas just because he feels he's right.
Then
Thanos' reasoning was because
wait. No. Stay with Thanos'
hearing
reasoning
you.
is just that. Okay. Then that means the Riddler's reason was just killing corruption. Okay.
But then it was the way he went about doing that. I'm talking about his execution.
No. You did say
what
execution.
Are you talking about?
You didn't say execution.
But I'm saying
no. You did say execution. If we talk about execution, then Thanos is still better.
The only reason why I would argue that is because of his scale, the scale that he did it at. Obviously, the Riddler is not no multiversal threat. I'm just saying at the impact he did in this 3-hour movie was, or you could argue that it was more impactful in this short amount of time. He was a lot more efficient in what he did than a lot of these MCU villains, including Thanos. Like you said, Thanos has been a thing since he's been developing since Avengers 1, which is in that scene 7, 8, 9 years. The Riddler did all this shit. He pretty much destroyed Gotham. Essentially, he destroyed Gotham in a matter of days or weeks. And it was just little old him. And this is the Riddler.
It wasn't just him, though.
It was his idea.
Okay.
The Riddler was the brains of this operation. Yes, he had goons, but he was the one that inspired these goons to do all these different things. And he honestly would have got away with it too if it wasn't for this meddling Batman and Catwoman.
Thanos is still better.
I hear your argument.
I will write down a whole.
I could write down a thesis
paper.
And I mean this as respectful as possible.
No.
I just respectfully disagree. But can we? Okay, so
no,
Thanos.
I'm still talking about Thanos.
Nah. So
go ahead.
We believe he's better than Killmonger.
Hell yes.
Who's next? The Red Skull. Do we believe he's better than the Red Skull?
The Red Skull was just there.
Do we believe he was a more complex villain than Ultron? I personally think
complex
so.
than Ultron?
A better villain than Ultron in terms of MCU wise. Obviously, he doesn't really compare in the comics. Really, Ultron was done dirty in the MCU. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
but that's a whole episode for another day.
Yeah, for that version of the MCU's Ultron, I'd say, yeah. The only thing that was better was the nigga's quotes.
Yeah. I don't know. You could argue that. You might lose that argument if you arguing for the Riddler, but that's an argument.
Yeah. But besides that, I'd say he was a little more
Winter Soldier.
I didn't see the Winter Soldier as a villain, so if you can give your input on it, I don't have any.
You could argue the Winter Soldier in terms of his impact in that movie, but like you said, he was brainwashed and kind of told what to do. Okay, what about Baron Zemo? You could argue that.
I'd say Baron Zemo since he got since that movie and then the TV show now. I'd say
Doctor Winter Soldier.
I'd give it. Ooh,
that's what I'm saying. You could argue. Yeah,
equal.
You could argue that. That could go either way. Who else? I'm trying to think of the Yellow Jacket. Yes.
That nigga in a suit. Get out of here, bro. That bald headed.
Who is the villain in the first? Ronan the Accuser.
Yes, bro. Let's have a dance off. Niggas was doing Dance Revolution at the end of the movie.
Yes.
Bro, this is off
the Green Goblin.
Oh no.
You don't think he's a better villain than the Green Goblin?
I just think the Green Goblin is insane. That nigga, bro. Honestly, nobody's touching him. Nobody's touching him suplexing Peter through 5 flights of 5 floors. So
He really did that.
I'd have to really like look at his character. I'd have to really just sit down and look at his character to really determine that. But if I say impact on the movie, well, I'd have to think about Spider-Man 1.
Mm-hmm.
I won't even use No Way. Fucking whatever the No Way Home. Am I tripping?
You're talking about the first Tom Holland Spider-Man?
No, the recent one.
Oh yeah, Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah, I won't use that one for him. But if we're talking first Spider-Man, I think they're. So I keep wanting to say No Way Home. In the first Spider-Man, he had the split personality,
right?
So, and then Riddler is just a calculated sociopath, psychopath. I don't know. I don't remember which one specifically it is. I think the Riddler was more calculated. Goblin was more menacing. When it came down to it, though, I think the Goblin had a little bit more impact on Spider-Man's character in the beginning. And I think the way he impacted Peter was a little more different than how the Riddler impacted Batman. I think he impacted Peter more because that was literally like, you could say fucking, that was like his other uncle in a sense, how he, a little bit, because that was his best friend's dad. So I feel like that weighed more than just a villain that's outsmarting me.
Right.
So I would put him ahead.
I can't necessarily argue that. Yeah. That's pretty much my argument.
Ego.
I think. Stop it. Yeah. I think the Riddler edges out a lot of those MCU villains, even Thanos, in my opinion. But we can come back to that on another episode.
No, we're good. Just because I already had like a few episode lists made or like stuff. But yeah, we're definitely doing a villains episode. We'll probably do a villains of like, it'll probably be like a 2-part series. We'll do like MCU, DC villains, and then like anime villains too. And I have a lot of stuff to say about these niggas. If y'all don't know, most of the time I like villains more so than main characters, or at least the villain has to have some type of impact or like it be important. So I can talk about that for a minute.
Yes, but thank you guys for rocking with us tonight on another episode of the Redacted Show. Make sure you guys follow us on all platforms, on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok coming soon, for those digestible bites of content you can eat like popcorn, you know what I'm saying?
Eat them up.
Yes, sir. This has been your host, Dane.
Another host, Feeq.
And we'll catch you guys on the next one.
We out. Peace.
Recipes call me, I'ma show 'em how to shoot. On the 4-5, jump in the ass, my crew. Yeah, I'm step with a fat, keep it all of the hoes on mute. Pull up park, could be yellow with a brew. 48 for a quick burst. Crazy 8s in the back, yeah, the trunk on hot like a cue. 40 on me when I'm in the backseat. Blotter, paper pre-cut. Chris make juice, it'll drop like ink. Chain came with a clean plate, came with a sink. The Parator came with a mate. Tricones white like paint. My hoe by the hoe, cause she know it's my king. Hit on my side, cause I drop a song. Think you should hit up the link. The phenotype came from the pink Colombian thing. Yeah, the genetics unique. See it right on the beat. I'm teaching the hoe like I'm Play-Doh. I got the veggies like by the tomato. You got a Mexico making Alfredo. I put a bag on a hold my payroll. I get active at night, then I lay low. The salmon was breaded with panko. Struck in my soup, I believe it was mango. Think I'm a Soviet clutching a Draco. You said it was bacon, we taking your cake though. I got the tree like a poplar. Bango. Up in that Tim, ain't no hang though. Recipes call me, I'ma show 'em how to shoot.